Here. Trustee Rogers here. Pledge of allegiance, please. Pledge of allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Consideration of minutes for the trustees for January 11th special meeting. Want to do these individually?
I would recommend it.
Okay. For the special meeting on January 11th, I have a motion to approve the minutes.
So move. That's our regular meeting, January 11th. Special meetings were on
Right,
January
okay.
25th.
Yeah, right, January 11th, regular meeting, thank
Yes.
you. Second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. May I have a motion for the special meeting on January 25th?
So move. I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? None. And for January 25th, the closed session, to approve the minutes, correct, John, but not the audio, is that how that works?
No, it would be to approve the minutes and either to release or not release those minutes would be the motions. The audio you don't have anything to do with unless 18 months go by.
Okay, then a motion to approve the minutes for January 25th closed session meeting. Can I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes and to not release.
Okay, I'll second that motion.
I have an issue with those minutes.
Okay?
I have a concern that the minutes have a significant omission in them. However, because they are the minutes of a closed meeting, we can't really discuss them here. So I did consult with our attorney about my concern.
Okay.
He advised me that that the area of my concern is somewhat gray, not very black and white. And as a result of that we can't really talk about it, and the fact that there is an open Attorney General's investigation of the propriety of that meeting, I am going to abstain from voting on that. So,
Okay. So we have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
I'll abstain.
And abstaining, trustee Snowden. Okay, chief's report.
As I informed you guys earlier, ladder 44 had a significant issue with the radiator fan and housing that covers it to where it shattered going on a call the other night. By doing so, it ended up taking out the radiator. Tim Morf has come out and taken a look at it. He's ordered the parts through E1 so that it will be original parts. We are still waiting to hear back as of tonight from Tim when those will be in. We're hoping by the end of the day tomorrow or Wednesday. At which point Lieutenant Grenenz already has it on standby with Ernie's for it to be towed out to his shop. Tim's looking at probably 2 to 3 days to have that back up and running and fixed.
Okay.
So I'll let you know as soon as the parts and it goes out. Along with that, and talking with Chief Graff from Lake Bluff, Chief Graff has graciously offered to loan us one of his reserve engines to put in our station during the time that our ladder truck is gone and being serviced, just so that we have a backup sitting here.
Carl, do you have an update on the
Yes,
on
as
the
I
insurance on that?
told the chief just beforehand. VFISs are insured, but they require you to open the claim through our agency, Ideal. I called them on Friday, when first heard about it, and they're out in Lombard, and unfortunately because of the snow, they were closed. So I left a message, they called me back at 9 this morning, gave them the details, they opened the claim, and the claim adjuster is supposed to give me a call to schedule to come out to look. So,
And from Tim's coming out here and taking a look at it, he said the only way something like this could happen is something coming up from the underneath and hitting the fan as it was rotating. The grant that I submitted for through Illinois Public Risk Fund for backup cameras for the engine and the truck have been awarded to us for a total of $2,626 for those 2 cameras. So I'm in the process of getting those funds and having the cameras picked out that we're going to go ahead then we'll have to have it installed.
Okay. Who installs something like that, John? Is that a Havy deal?
I'm sure Havy probably could do it.
Okay.
Either that or Marty over at MPC.
Okay. Maybe get a,
I know that
Quote from both
Mike's
of them.
been trying to get out of the fire truck business for a while and just stick with squad cars, but I can reach out to him and see if it is something that he would be willing to do for us.
great.
Actually, I want to pass this over to John. This I received in the mail. It's a request for a report from an attorney that I believe is going to be a patient from an accident. However, I'd like for him to just review that and take a look at it before I go ahead and submit that report. As far as policy stuff, and I know we've discussed this, and I'll get to the accident. I'm sorry I couldn't be here last meeting. I was stuck at work. I do have an accident policy for you guys to review, as well as some forms that will be filled out along with said policy. Along with that, we've started looking into different options for updating and continually updating our policy. And we did do a webinar with Lexipol, which they do numerous departments throughout the entire United States. They sent us a demo policy, but the cost to implement this would be about $2,800. But it's from beginning to end. They create everything for us. So it's something that I'm looking at considering possibly capital next year. But the research we've done, and they're giving us a discount on it. So like I said, bare bones would be about $2,800 for them to implement everything. One of the nice things about them, though, is they will send updates to every single member's phone through an app that they can then go in, read the policy through the app, and acknowledge the policy through the app. So they don't actually have to be down here in order to receive the updates. It also comes with training, monthly training as well, that they provide. So as we get towards that and looking into that more, I'll keep you guys posted. I'll get to the policy last. Tammy, as far as the checks that have been unclaimed or uncashed, if I go through this list with you, there are only 2 that I don't have contact with anymore. Everybody else, I can drive over to their house and drop them off for them.
Okay.
If that's going to be the easiest way of going about it.
And ask them to cash them this time?
Yeah.
I actually know 2 of them,
Oh.
so
Well,
maybe
maybe
they'll be
you
billed
can-
the ones that you don't know.
So one thing that we've come across in the last 2 weeks has been that our lot and ramp have not been plowed.
Okay.
I've talked with the contractor that was hired, and he said that he was told to come after all the snowstorms on.
I don't know who would have told him that.
I'm just passing along the information.
Yeah, I mean, he did it last year without incident, so I don't know what's changed this year.
But I can tell you myself personally,
Mhm.
I've done the ramp and the parking lot 3 times with a snow blower.
Okay, what would you like us to do, John?
A couple things we have different options.
Okay, you want me to contact the vendor?
I mean, you can, and see what kind of a response that you get.
Okay.
The other question I had is, what are we paying per push?
You know, I don't know off the top of my head, we seem to get a bill in like June or July. So
Okay.
I will find out what the per push cost is. The contract just, as with most snow contracts, it just renewed. Nobody really made a big deal out of it because it seemed to be working from
Right.
last year. But I will reach out and find out what we're paying and what the problem seems to be with getting the front deck plowed for you throughout the storm.
Yeah, the other option we have, well, even the other day when they were taking the rescue out, even though it's 4-wheel drive, the thing slid halfway down the ramp.
Okay.
The other option we have is now we wouldn't see a savings of this up until probably, and it depends on the winters we have, obviously, until probably 3 years from now. But we did get a quote from Master Truck and Trailer for, it's gonna be right around $5,500 that we could put a plow on the front of our truck.
What, the pickup?
Yes.
Okay.
That I can pass this along to you guys if it's something you want to consider. but we can't go with the ramp and the lot.
All right, I'll reach out to the vendor and I'll be back in touch with you after I speak with him.
Okay.
Okay?
And then the last thing I do have is the accident policy, which you guys can review if you'd like. Along with that, our insurance company, believe it or not, has an entire 50-page manual in regards to accidents. What I pulled out of here, and I think I have 1 or 2 copies for you guys to take a look at if you want, that I would require to go along with this said policy is forms that our insurance company actually provides
Okay.
of what to do, what to fill out.
Is this a single copy of them?
There might be 2 copies in there. I'm sorry I wasn't able to get it sorted out for you, but it just kind of gives you an overview of the different information that they require, or they would request
Okay.
for us. So if you guys are okay with this and this policy goes past our legal counsel, I can go ahead and implement it immediately.
Okay. John, do you want to look at this, or?
The policy or the VIFAS package?
Both.
The VIFAS package I'm familiar with. I'd like an opportunity to look at the policy.
Okay.
Or the
How about if we
suggestions.
put it on the agenda next month for any editing and approval, John?
John, would you rather have a digital full copy?
Yeah, if you want to send us a word either to Brian or I, and that way we'll have it if we want to suggest changes or something.
Okay.
Okay.
That's all I have.
Chief, I just had one thing real quick for you. I have been at the new North Shore Golf Gun Club a couple of times, and so I get their emails, and I saw the one about the event coming up.
Okay.
For the Lake County Sheriff and Highland Park Police and Norwood Fire Department. During my meeting with Chief Karani, he was not aware of it.
Okay.
And since that is his district, I think it would be appropriate to at least advise him of any requests that you get in his district, and whether or not he should be the one to be there, or whether it should be us.
Okay, and that's fine if they were doing that representing us, but this is something that they're doing on their own time. In fact, I'm
Yeah,
going
but
to be...
it's advertised, Norwood Fire Department.
Okay, well then I'll reach out to them and make sure that that's...
I mean, it just was a concern of mine, because I think it's really only, proper to advise another chief when you're coming into his district to do an event. So, if it's just a matter of it was improper advertising, then you need to talk to them about that.
Okay.
Okay. We have public comment, allows 5 minutes for those individuals who would like the opportunity to address the trustees of items that are not listed on the agenda. Before I open it up, I'm assuming people are probably here, or some of you here tonight, about the proposal that we received today. I just received it, I've read it through once. I have not even had a chance to reach out to Drew Irvin from Lake Bluff. I'm assuming the other 2 trustees will also read through this and give me some feedback on their thoughts and questions that they might have. And then I'll try to schedule a meeting with Drew and whomever Drew would like from the village there, and we'll try to get together and give this a walkthrough and see where it goes. And I am very appreciative for Lake Bluff and Knollwood coming up with something here. I think that's great. The more the merrier, the more options for the opportunity to work together, I think the better. So with that, I will open this up to public comment. Mr. Brown.
I saw in the proposed agenda, you're looking to reduce the public comment time from 5 minutes to 3 minutes. I think I have an issue with that. If somebody from the community has something to orate and can politely and properly discuss that and it takes 5 minutes, they should be allowed.
Okay. Anybody else? Okay, hearing none. May I have a motion to change the March meeting date for next month from March 12th to March 19th?
So moved.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, hearing none? All right. Proposed changes for public comment. How does everybody feel about that? Carl, do you have any feed on that?
Yeah, well, I'd like to ask the board, what's the rationale for doing this? Why change it?
I see other places have gone to 3 minutes, and 5 minutes just seemed a little bit long. That was really it. It just an effort to move things along, and that was really it.
Okay, no, we've never had anybody hit up against the 5 minutes, and rarely ever go over
Yeah.
3. So it doesn't seem like it's a really pressing thing. And I'm just really concerned that of appearances, that this will appear to be an attempt to limit public input and to really silence dissent. And I think, just the tone of what we do here, that's really not, I don't think it's a wise idea to make a change like this unless there's a really compelling need. It's our current policy. My understanding is 5 minutes is pretty much standard. The law doesn't, interesting is quiet on terms of what it could be, so we could change it to 3, and I suppose next month we could change it to 1 in 30 seconds. I'm not suggesting that we do, but it just strikes me that unless there's a really compelling need to do this, it's just sending a really bad message, which is, I think, the last thing this board should really want to do right now.
Well, I know I looked at it, and all of the county committees use 3 minutes as a standard. And like you say, I think we have had numerous public comments here, none of which have come near 5 minutes. And I think, as we're seeing a rather large crowd here today, and I think we'll probably see larger crowds in the future, allowing it to go to 3 minutes, I think gives everybody a chance without us dragging it out for hours. I think if everybody here right now took 5 minutes, we'd be here quite a while. I think if someone has something to say, I think three minutes is more than sufficient. At least it has been since I've been here on the committee, that nobody has gone over 3 minutes. I think it just tends to speed things up. People will get to the point quicker, we'll have less repetition of comments, and I think in the long run it'll make the meeting go along a little smoother.
I would make the,
Sorry, go ahead.
would make the comment that in our policies already, it does say that this should not be repetitive.
I am, but it does happen.
I try to get here at 6 o'clock every month to be here for anybody who would like to speak in depth about any issue that I can hopefully answer questions on, and I know the two of you do the same. So and as well stay after. If there's somebody, I spoke with Mrs. Issel last month about a couple items after the meeting as well. So I think 3 minutes is sufficient as well. So would anybody, do you want to leave it in? Oh, go ahead.
I'll make a motion to change the public comment resolution 2018-02 to change the allocation of 5 minutes to 3 minutes.
Do we have a second? I'll second that. All in favor, roll call. Trustee Snowland?
No.
Trustee Grum?
Aye.
Trustee Rogers, aye. Okay, attorney's report. Mr. John, what do you have for us?
Well, first of all, I have the resolution changing the number, so at some point we'll have to get the board to sign copies of that and
Okay.
to stamp that to make the change from 5 to 3 minutes. The board has asked me to provide them with the legal fees attributable to Freedom of Information Act requests, and through January 31st of 2018, that amount is $5,180.
Okay.
The only other thing is the legislature's back in session. It's early yet. So far, I have not seen any bills that would be detrimental or in any way affecting the fire district, and we'll keep you advised on that. That's all I have.
Do we have any status of the last FOIA request?
Everything has been submitted to the public access counselor, and we're waiting for them to examine it and come up with some either further request for information or some decision. Everything was submitted last, I think, Thursday, or Wednesday or Thursday it was all submitted.
That's it?
That's all I have.
Madam Treasurer, you're on deck.
Okay. Current assets, Lake Forest Bank, capital $36,377.14. Lake Forest Bank checking, $173,751.41. Lake Forest Bank reserve, $273,957.81. Zero. Petty cash, $29.05, for a total of $484,115.41.
Okay.
We closed the Northern Trust checking account, but posted the last month's interest rates, but it's, so,
All right, so we can take that off of the agenda?
yes.
The
Yeah.
Okay, budget tracking update?
The margins are good, they're following along, exactly where we should be in the month of January. We received most of the funding throughout the year that we should be getting.
Okay.
And I received back a check for the reimbursal of some expenses from the Pancake Day. And we just have the one that will be going to like the Bluff Fire Department for
And
the
I've got that.
$894 for the Penguin Communications.
Do you need this copy or can I?
No, that was yours.
Okay, thank you.
An e-copy.
Okay, anybody have any questions on the,
I just have quick things for Tammy.
P&L?
On the chief's discretionary expense, I think, I was looking at that, you put the settlement for the claim.
Oh, I get nowhere.
Yeah,
Oh,
I don't,
okay.
yeah, definitely.
Where is it supposed to go?
Probably district contractual.
Contractual?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we don't, John doesn't have to eat that.
I saw that number now, it was,
Yeah.
Okay, I will move it
Kind of
to
blew
here.
the budget there, John.
You can try very hard.
And the other,
Both checks?
yeah,
Both checks.
the other thing too, this is just a bookkeeping thing. You notice the building loans are showing at 50% and 93% because there's each month you have to do a JV
Right,
to move the ambulance dollars, and it hasn't been done for the last
Okay.
couple of months, so there's in the favorite reports, there's one,
I
run
saw
that,
it in there.
yeah, run that, it'll tell you then you move 40% of the
Okay.
things that are in that, in a JV, move them over. Then that'll bring that all back. And the final thing was just on your support on the last page, very
Total
button,
support?
there's a support other. Those things should all be in one of these categories.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay. I think it's the ones that I got this month, I didn't
Okay.
push.
Yeah, but yeah, they just need to be in
Move
one
them
of
up.
the categories.
Okay.
And that's it. All good.
Okay, may we have a motion to approve the treasurer's report as presented?
I will so move.
Second.
Roll call vote, trustee Snowman,
Aye.
trustee Crum,
Aye.
trustee Rogers, aye. Approval of outstanding invoices.
All right. Checks to approve, Comcast, TDS, Square One Equipment, Lake Forest Bank and Trusts, Ace Hardware, Fruit, Nancy Pearlman, and Allstate was the MBA settlement.
Right.
Payroll charges, Lake County Public Works for water, Village of Libertyville, contractual obligation, American Gases, ComEd, Odison Brits,
Close
an
enough.
attorney's fee, Comcast City and X charges, NIAFPD for, I think that was a seminar.
Conference, right?
Right, North Shore Gas and payroll for the W-2 prep for 2017 year for a total of $57,538.12.
Okay, do you have all the memos filled in on the Costco charges, on the detail?
I've got it for you.
He's bringing it, yeah.
Okay, everything makes sense to
Small,
both John and,
one small tool is one of the end of the year awards, which come out of Quartermaster, Sledgehammer was Home Depot. It's come out of small tools, and that was also salt, Sledgehammer and salt. And then, the Target and Walgreens, you can take out of my discretionary fund, that was the candy for Santa.
John, with the Shell oil, I thought that went through WEX, or was that when we were having trouble with
That was
the,
when,
we were having trouble with
Correct.
the cards? Okay.
Correct.
Yeah, and that, we never found out what happened. Eventually, they got the, I mean, we paid it out of Lake Forest Bank, they just didn't post it, and so
Right.
they put us on hold, so I paid it out of the other account.
I assume that's what the charge was, that it, that-
Yeah,
Yeah, and I actually have the receipt for that one too.
and the last couple of bills, we've been working off of a credit because we overpaid, so it's all copacetic now.
What I don't understand about that though is that they shut down the account with, our credit limit was thousands and thousands and $1,000 away, yet they had shut it down after like $2,200.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't even that much, it was,
1,600,
yeah.
Okay.
but we were like 45 days overdue.
Oh.
That was the thing.
Okay.
Because somehow they lost the payment somewhere.
But they cashed it,
Ultimately, they did,
yeah,
yes.
like 4 weeks later.
There's the, shell.
Okay, approval of the outstanding invoices as presented by the treasurer. May I have a motion, please?
So moved. I'll second.
All in favor, that would be a roll call vote. Trustee Snowman?
Aye.
Trustee Crum?
Aye.
Trustee Rogers, aye. Station, whoop,
Just wanted,
Sorry.
I was-
mention
yeah.
one thing to John.
Do you have access to our Amazon account?
Yeah,
Can you pull that last one, I have a question mark next to that for 1875,
yeah.
and I can see what it is and categorize it?
It's just
no, go ahead, go ahead.
You weren't here last month, but I think Tito asked me about, the purchase order spreadsheet,
Correct,
that there wasn't one for this year.
correct.
Because I think Eric had always done that in the past. So I went ahead and made one for this year and put in everything up through, I think through now. So
Thank
it's
you.
out there, it's in the same place,
Same
it's just,
page drive?
yeah,
Okay.
same place, same password.
Okay.
So, because I know when you look at this, it doesn't have the detail, and so
Right.
you saw your discretionary fund was over, but you didn't know why.
Right,
But, well, now you would
right,
know that.
thank you.
All right, the unclaimed property we've already discussed,
Mhm.
so that's gonna be taken care of between you and
I gave you
Tammy.
the list of people that I can,
Okay,
Handle it.
station lighting, it looks fantastic.
Yeah, I've got some help from some of the members down here, which is really great. Hopefully within the next month we have that.
John says he really likes the scaffolding, that's his new toy, he likes to be on that. And I'll stand next to him, we can shake till we both fall off. But that looks great, Mike, and whatever you guys think, if John was saying that we may not need as many lights up there, you're thinking of reducing
It's
the
possible,
the
yeah.
number, okay? Update and joint service agreement with Lake Bluff. As I said, we received this, I'm gonna try to reach out to Drew in the next couple days. And if both trustees would forward any comments, they have comments, concerns, questions, queries on the agreement, then I'll bring those to
I don't think we
Drew.
can do that.
No, forward them to, I'm sorry, I didn't finish. Forward them
Okay.
to John, John Kelly. John, will you be the interim on that, please?
We can do that.
Okay, so,
Thank you.
okay. Update, whoops, sorry. Whoop, whoop, whoop.
One comment related to that.
Please.
The village had asked through Norwood Neighbors that we disseminate this proposal as far and wide as we can throughout the community. So it is out on the Norwood Neighbors Facebook page and at the norwoodneighbors.org. And for folks who may have some difficulty downloading or printing from the internet, Nikki has a handful of copies back there if you want to grab them, at the end of the meeting. So.
Okay, update on contractual services, trustee Grum.
I've had one meeting with Chief Siebert and Chief Karani. We've talked about a possible agreement, and looked at different formats, basic concepts that are common to all agreements. And then we threw around some ideas, and they're gonna take them back to their administrations And then we will probably be meeting weekly to proceed with that.
Okay, non-agenda items, the only non-agenda item that I have, and I'll work, I think, with John and/or whoever you instruct me to, on the voting. The equipment is next month, we have time, but I confirmed with the lady at the Lake County Clerk's Office, the delivery of the equipment is March 16th, and then they have an election eve. You've seen this, right,
Yeah.
before? Okay, so it's March 16th they want to deliver, they say 16th or the 19th, they want to deliver the 16th. Sherway will be contacting me and/or you're the default on that, John. And then on election eve, what gets done, and then election morning, I will be here at 4:45 to let them in.
They usually, most of the time, it's the night before that they drop.
They've got March 16th is what they've
Okay.
asked for this time. Unless that doesn't work, then I can call them back and change that if that doesn't work for you.
We've just had to keep the room secure,
Okay.
so if they want us to hold it.
Are you okay with that, locking it up to 16th, 17th, and 18th?
I think when Sherway delivers, you don't have to secure, because everything's sealed.
Okay,
It's when they come in on election night and open everything up, then you have to seal the
Okay.
room after that.
okay, that's fine, yeah, that's fine.
Okay, you and I will stay in contact on that as election day
Can you put that on the calendar?
approaches. Anybody else with non-agenda items? Nominations, resignations, terminations of members of Norwood Fire Department. John?
Theo, how many did I send you? 8, 9? New applications have been submitted,
Okay.
that we'll be sitting down, do interviews in the next month.
Okay. That's all I have. May I have a motion to adjourn at 7:02?
Motion to adjourn?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you very much.
I need, secretary.
That's right.